What's up, brand builder? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this tutorial you're going to learn exactly what brand strategy is so you can move away from visual branding, connect with the audience that you're trying to attract, and gain an advantage over 99% of other brands who are happy with a logo. Now, if you're new to the Brandmaster Academy YouTube channel, welcome. This is where you're going to find actionable brand strategy tips and techniques to grow your business. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well if you want to level up your branding game. Now, make sure you stick around to the end of this video if you want to get your hands on the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint, which is a free download that will help you to develop brand strategies like a pro brand strategist. Now, before we jump into the brand strategy content, let's get the basics out of the way. When we hear the word branding, certainly when most people hear the word branding, they think of the word logo. Now, there's a reason for this. There is a lot of misinformation out there around what branding is. And part of the reason for this is that it doesn't really take much to start a business today. If you think about what life was like in the 80s for entrepreneurs to start a business, it was a much different environment than it is today. Today, there are no prerequisites for anybody to start a business. Anybody can start a business, and there are a lot of people starting businesses that have very little knowledge about branding. They assume that branding is all about a logo. They go out in search of branding services, and there are plenty of designers out there meeting those needs and offering branding services in the form of logo designs. So that's led us to an environment now where the word branding means logo to most people, and that's really diluted the importance of what branding is really all about. So let's strip it all back for a second with some definitions so we can understand the actual importance of branding and brand strategy. So a brand is the perception of a business or a person. It's not a logo. Branding is the expression of the brand. A brand identity is the visual expression of the brand, and a brand strategy is the plan for that brand expression. So in essence, the strategy is a plan to influence the audience's perception through brand expression. So how does a brand express itself, and isn't the visual identity the brand expression? Well, the visual identity is part of the brand expression, but it's only the visual aspect. So if you think about humans, when humans interact with each other and they connect with each other, as humans, we have our visual appearance. So how we dress, how we wear our hair, what clothes we wear, what shoes we wear, any accessories that we might have, and the style of the clothes that we wear. That says a lot about us and how we hold ourselves and our personalities, but it really doesn't tell us much about the person. So you might see somebody wearing a smart jacket and a smart pair of jeans, and they might look like somebody who you could connect with, but you don't really know who they are until they open their mouth. They might be an absolute arsehole, and until they open their mouth and start talking to you and expressing in means other than visuals, can you really get a feel for who they are. So what other forms of expression do we have as people other than our visual appeal? Well, we've got our personality, we've got our tone of voice, we've got what we say, the way we say things, the way we deliver things. We have what's unique about us. So what we feel, what we believe, what our values are, what our opinions and ideas are, what our philosophies are. These are all things that make up who we are as people, and as individuals, that is how we connect with other people. Now, there's an old saying that you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And most business owners approach branding in the same way. They put all of their effort into that first impression. They put all of their effort into how the brand looks, and they have nothing beyond that. But branding is about far more than the first impression, and that is where strategy comes in. And that is the best way to understand brand strategy, is to think of your brand as a human. Yes, it's very important that your brand looks good. At the bare basics, it needs to look good. But imagine you went to a networking event to build relationships with other people, and you dressed the part and you turned up to that event, but you didn't have anything else other than how you look good. You didn't have a personality. You didn't have a unique tone of voice or unique opinions or a way to connect with those other people. You just turn up at this networking event and stand there and look good. That is what most brands do. They just stand there and look good. They do not have any strategy about understanding who their audience is, what their needs are, what their desires are, how to connect with them, how to engage with them on a human level, how to tell stories. And that is exactly what brand strategy is all about. It goes beyond the looks and it actually makes a connection with who the audience is. So what exactly is included in a brand strategy? Well, let's consider our brand as human. So we have the internal brand first and foremost. So that is the core and the soul of the brand. So what it believes in, where it's going and what it's committed to. So its vision and its mission, how it behaves in the marketplace. So its values, its audience persona, who it's trying to appeal to, the competitive analysis, who is already serving that person out there in the marketplace, its positioning strategy, so how the brand is different, and the human persona, so the way the brand engages, so that's the brand personality and the brand voice. It has a communication strategy, so what the brand says, the messaging framework, the storytelling framework, and then of course it has its visual appearance, which is the brand identity. Okay, Stephen, I get it. Brand is human, connects with other humans, great. But how do I go about building a brand strategy? Well, that's what the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint is for at the end of this video. So make sure you download that. But I will leave you with some core fundamental principles, 3 core fundamental principles that if you remember, you will really understand brand strategy. Number 1, know your audience. Now, I cannot stress this enough. This is absolutely key to any brand, knowing who that audience is. No brand exists without their audience. Everything revolves around that audience, who they are and what they want. So you need to know who your audience is. You need to know what they want, and that needs to be crystal clear for your brand. Number 2, be more relevant. So you have something that your audience wants or needs. That is great, but so do many other brands. You need to clearly distinguish why your brand is different, why your audience should choose your brand over the next competitor's brand. And being more relevant is a great way to do that. So what's unique about your experience? What's unique about your offer? What's unique about the way you do things? If you're able to be more relevant to who they are and what they need, what they want, and what their challenges are, then you will stand out in the market. And number 3, be more human. As humans, we connect with other humans on a human level through characteristics, through tones of voice, through personality, attitudes, opinions. And this is really, really important in modern branding. We do not connect with corporate entities. We connect through characteristics. So make sure that your brand has a human element to it, a human persona, and you deliver your messaging with humanity. So these 3 core principles are really, really critical. So know who your audience is, number 1. Number 2, be more relevant. And number 3, be more human. And that's it. If you build your brand with these 3 core fundamental principles at the core, that is how you connect, that is how you influence perceptions, and that is how you grow brands with strategy. If you want to know the step-by-step brand strategy development process, well then make sure you download the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint, and that will map it all out for you. I've left a link on screen and a link in the description below. That is a free download. Make sure you get your hands on it. If you want actionable brand strategy tips and techniques to grow your business, well then head on over to BrandMasterAcademy.com and get yourself signed up for the list. It is free, and I do keep some exclusive content for that list. There are plenty of resources on there as well. They are all free. They're all downloadable. It'll get you going with brand strategy. Make sure you get yourself involved. But I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your challenges, your experiences, any questions that you might have when it comes to brand strategy, developing brand strategies from scratch, or transitioning over to becoming a brand strategist. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer all of those. Until next time, brand like a master, and I will see you in the next video.